What's up, everybody? It's Will back here for the Apple One-to-One Training channel. We're back here talking more about our MacBook Neo, and this was a subject I know a lot of people wanted to talk about. It's command keys. That's right. We're going to talk about Mac shortcut keys today here on this video. Please like and subscribe our content. We have a whole bunch of videos for you to look back on, but today is all about using what I love to call the best feature of a Mac, which is the command keys, all the shortcut keys that you can use on this Mac. We have to talk about the four main keys that you are going to be using in this training series. Now, if you're coming from a Windows environment, Control was usually the key. Well, we don't like Control anymore. Control needs to go away. It's like the forgotten child. It's not going to be here anymore. So, Command takes over what everything Control was, and things are very similar. You will see four icons on your screen. You have the Command key, you have the Option key, you have the Control key, and you have the Shift key. These keys are going to be important to know about in order to perform your shortcuts. All right, it's time. Whoop. All right, everyone, so we're going to go through the shortcuts now, and right away we're going to start off with the one that a lot of people use already on both PC and Mac, and that is cut, copy, and paste. Now, on your keyboard, if you look down, you're going to see the Command key, and then right above it, you have X, C, and V. If I highlight something and I go to Edit, we're going to have cut, copy, and paste right here. Now, if I look to the right, there is the Command and the X. So in the beginning of the video, remember I showed you that list of the four most important shortcuts. So on your keyboard, you look at the Command key, which is both on the left and right side of your keyboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tool of Command and X, and I'm about to hit that right now. It has now performed the command. Now, real quickly, if I go back, I'm just going to do a quick paste here. You can see the edit kind of lights up while I do it. So I'm going to highlight it one more time. Watch the edit. Command and X. See how it lights up real quickly. So now what I'm going to do is do the paste. So if I was going to, let's say, the Notes app, and I do Command and V, and now that has pasted what I took over there. Same thing for copy. So we're going to go right back to over here. As I'm just going to paste this real quick. Now we're going to go back and I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to go Command and C, and then I'll go Command and V, and there you go. So that's simple. Cut, copy, paste. The Command key, especially if you're a righty, you're going to want to use the left hand because you can see the X, C, and V is actually right next to the Command key. It's very simple. I never understood that about Control, like on the Windows environment, because Control was like you had to use two hands. Like it was real hard. But when it comes to the Mac, because the Command key is right next to the C, the X, and the V, you could take one hand and do it. So that's what's great about Mac, is that already that Command key makes things much faster. Let's now talk about something that's always really, really important, and that is Command and Q. So every app under the app name in the menu bar has the quit something, and you can see it has Command and Q. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Command key with my thumb. I'm using my thumb on the keyboard, and then using Q, and watch how Notes will close. And there it goes. That is the most important one because you're going to have a lot of apps open, and if you want to quickly go through and quit something, you can. So we'll do it one more time. So if I click on Safari and I do Command Q, there it goes, and that's the end of that app. You can look at on the bottom, anything that has a light on the bottom of there is on. So if you wanted to go through and remove them, you could do that. I'm going to show you another really, really quick key that's really awesome. So again, I'm using my left hand, I'm holding down the Command key, and then I'm going to hit Tab. And then I'm using my thumb and my pointer finger, and I'm going to use Command Tab. And now we have this. So I'm still holding the Command key down. If I let go, it goes away. So Command and Tab. And as long as I'm holding the Command key, I could tab to any app I want to go to. So this is very convenient because what you're doing is you're switching between apps without actually going and clicking it. So I'm going to go to, if I go to Final Cut Pro and I let go of Command, that's where it pops up. If I go to Command and Tab, I can go to Pages. If I do Command Tab, I can go to YouTube. So The idea of this is that it's called fast switching. You're going between one app, and as you can see, the order of the app is kind of in order here. You can see that the most used app shows up. So if I go all the way down to stocks, there's stocks. So that's the idea of this, is that Command Tab will allow you to switch between apps, and as long as you're holding your Command key down, you'll be able to use your finger and tab over to it. Now we're going to combine two of the keys we've already learned. So if I'm going over, and let's say Mail I don't want to have open right now, I can just hold down my Command key as I'm still doing, and then hit the Q, and in the background the app is actually closing. This is very valuable if you want to tab through, and then here's news, I'll hit Q, and now what I'm doing is I'm just going through and I'm just quitting all the apps. So Command and Q, and then I'm going to let go of Command, and everything goes away. Very valuable key there. Command Tab is one of my favorite ones because I can fast switch between all my different apps without having to even use my mouse. So I love that one a lot. Next one we're going to talk about is Command Spacebar. Now, I did kind of mention this in other videos, especially in the keyboard video. Again, if you come back and watch that. But if I do Command and Spacebar, that is going to open up your Spotlight search. Spotlight is just simply a search for anything. So if I use Command Spacebar, and let's say I go to News, and I hit Return, it's opening up the app. I'll do it one more time. Let's do it a little slower. So we'll do Notes this time. So we'll do Notes. So because you can see that there is a highlight right here. You see the highlight? That's the default action if I hit Return. So if I hit Return, it opens up the Notes app. So Command and Spacebar is going to be very valuable. As you can see, it's remembering the last thing you did, so all you got to do is just hit delete, and then I can continue going through. And then, of course, we have in my macOS Tahoe Spotlight video, I kind of go over all of this. So if you are interested to know more, and there's also commands for that too. You can see as actually I'm using my arrow. Look, there's a Command 1, Command 2, and Command 3. So if I'm inside of Spotlight, I can do Command 1, which searches apps, Command 2, which is files, Command 3, which is actions, and Command 4, which is clipboard, which is your copying and pasting. Now I'm going to go through a feature that lets you print on here, and the Command key is pretty easy. It's pretty obvious. It's the same as it was on Windows where you use Control P. Well, it's Command P on here. So if I hold down the Command key and hit the word P, that is going to do the print feature on here. And that brings up the print window on here. We haven't dove into printing yet here on the MacBook Neo. I haven't really we could dive into it if you'd like to. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. But Command P, anywhere that you can need to print something, that's where you could do it. So if I'm going to Pages, and I'm in something, Command and P brings up that window. So again, that is going to be, I have to hit allow. But if I go to File, and then you have Print right over here. So you can see that the Command key is right here. So in case you need to remember that. But again, P is, use your Command key. You can use the whole left side with Command P since it's on both the left and right, or you can just do it across. Again, look at your keyboard. You have the space bar, 2 Command keys. Go to the Command, hit P, and then that brings up your print feature. We're going to do 2 keys that are very important, which are how to take screenshots. So screenshots can be done with keyboard commands. That is available on Windows as well, but I want to show you how to do it on here. And I'm going to give you 2 different screenshot methods that you could do. We're going to look at Command and Shift, and we're going to hold those 2 down. And then what I'm going to do is on the top, we have the number 3 and the number 4, and they both do 2 different things. So if I hold down Command, Shift, 3, watch on the bottom right of the screen. That just took a screenshot. It's right here on the bottom. And then if I right click, I can now decide what do I want to do with that screenshot. So I could copy it, which is what save to clipboard would be, save to desktop, documents. You can open it in mail. So if you want to send a mail message, you can open it in preview, which is like our PDF viewer, our image viewer. You have photos. You could show it in Finder itself, or you could just delete it. So I'm going to hit delete, and then that gets rid of the screenshot. So again, one more time, if I'm going to go and I want to take a screenshot, and this is the entire screen, doesn't matter when I'm on, and Command Shift 3 takes a screenshot, and then on the bottom right, you can either just let it sit there, it will just go away So you'll see right now, it'll just shift itself away. It does save it. It puts it on the desktop. So I'm just going to show my entire desktop. And then here is the screenshot. If you want to know how I did that, by the way, with my fingers, there is a trackpad video that we made about it. And then there it is. Okay. Now let's do Command Delete, by the way, another great shortcut, Command Delete. That deletes that file. Let's go back. And now what I'm going to do is do Command Shift and 4. Watch what happens to my arrow. It turns into this. So what this is showing you right now is what pixel is on the screen. That's why it says 833 by 718. And as I'm moving across, what you're doing now is you are going to take a screenshot of a specific item. So I'm using my mouse to do this, and then I can just click and drag. But the moment you let go, it's going to take the screenshot. So make sure you're ready for it. So if I let go, there's a screenshot of the plane. And it's right there on the corner, and same deal. The rules are applying the same. It'll just go itself away. Once I do that, there we go. I'll go back to my desktop, click on it. I could use spacebar to just quickly look at it, and then Command Delete gets rid of it. All right, going back to web browsing, one of the last ones we're going to talk about today, as far as like one of the ones that are valuable to do every day, is Command and T. So Command T is new tab. So if I go to Command T, it's going to open up a brand new tab, and now here is a tab of everything that I usually use. My favorites are up here, iCloud tabs, things like that. So again, if you want to go through and open up more tabs, just use Command T, and that'll start opening up more tabs. That also works in Finder too. So if I go to Finder and I do Command T, there you go. Now I have two tabs. I have iCloud Drive, so I'll go to Desktop here, and then iCloud Drive is here, and then I can go to this spot, and then I'll just do Command T one more time, and that opens up another tab inside of Finder. Speaking of Finder, making folders is really important. So if I go to the desktop, what I'm going to do now, Command Shift N. So if I go to File up here, File, New Folder, and there it is. And then that would create a folder with the Shift, Command, and N. So if I go right to my Finder here, Command Shift N, there you go. New folder has popped open. I'll call it Test and hit Return. And there you go. And that has created the folder. And then same deal, I could do Command and Delete if I want to delete it. And then of course I can go Command Tab, go across, and just quit something if I wanted to. So I'm just going through all the different quick items that we went through today. Also, if we mentioned this as well, if you want to do a dictation feature, I already have this set up, but if you look inside of the keyboard section of the settings, I have down here on the bottom the shortcut to press the globe button twice. So I have a globe button on my machine. This is my MacBook Pro I'm using as this example. But if I hit this key twice, it's going to bring up dictation. So 1, 2. Thank you for joining me on this video. And then I hit the key once and then stop the dictation. So dictation can also be a shortcut on your machine. We have talked about that before, but I just wanted to show you that again, you could use that. All right, so if you've made it to the end of this video, I'm going to give you something really neat to look at. So I'm going to create a shortcut automatically for you, and I'm going to do it inside of the app shortcuts. So app shortcuts, what this does is that it's going to create a shortcut that I want it to automatically do. Now, if you go to Finder, one thing that would be nice is if I could go ahead and use the rename feature, but unfortunately, it doesn't have a shortcut for that. But I'm going to make one. So I'm in the keyboard settings. I go to keyboard shortcuts. I go down the left side to app shortcuts. Hit the plus sign. Application all. Well, this rename feature is not exactly everywhere, but we're going to see if it works even if I don't do it. So I'm going to go to application menu title. Menu title is going to be rename because that is the name. So it's very important. It tells you right here, enter the exact name of the menu command you want to add. So if I go to Finder, File, Rename, yeah, I got to make sure that's 100% right. And then it tells me down here the keyboard shortcut you want it to be. Well, I'm going to do Command and R. So Command R is going to represent rename. Let's see if it works. I'm going to hit done. Let's go to this file right here. And then Command R. Look at that. You see, I was able to start renaming the file. And I'll call it Spirit. And that's it. So now if I go to File and I look at Rename, there's the Command key. Rename inside of here is great for Finder, but it's not so great for everywhere else. Like if I go to Preview here, and there is a rename feature. This one's got 3 dots though. You can see there's like a little bit of a difference here. So I would have to actually go in here, rename, ... I know it sounds weird, but you have to do it. I'll do Option Command R. Let's see if it works. Yep, and that worked. So you can see that the rename was different here than it was. If I go to Pages, File, Rename, you can see this one's got 3 dots as well. So you can see that the rename in Finder was not the same rename inside of Pages or Preview. So it's important that when you are deciding to create a shortcut, that you have to look at the name exactly the way it is. I know that sounds a little weird the way we did that, where it came as it didn't work necessarily, but you can see there's like 3 dots here on some of these. So you have to make sure that if you're going to create a key, it has to be exact. So that is it. On the screen right now is all the shortcuts that we went through today. So please go through and take a screenshot of this, keep it, that way you have a copy of it, and go through this if you'd like to continue down the path of shortcuts. I hope I gave you some really good shortcuts today that really helped you out with your MacBook Neo. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And of course, even if you don't have a Neo, this is great for any computer. Everything I talked about is not just a Neo thing, it's a Mac thing. So thank you, everyone, for joining me for this video, and I love every single one of you.